All right, welcome back to Day Traders. It is a beautiful and sunny day today here in PA, and I hope you're out there enjoying this beautiful afternoon and what we call life. That being said, let's get into today's trade recap. See, previous session, in the Asia session, we grind down, London, we grind up. Continue to grind off the rip in New York Open. We grind up 100 points, 70, 80 points, somewhere in that range. Actually, yeah, about 100. Retest the Asia high, that range. I was looking to buy at the New York Morning Open. We had a little bit more support in that range, and that was also just kind of lining up with some other things here. We didn't get that. We continue to grind higher. We set new highs from the previous session, 2 sessions. Okay, and then once we do, we break down rather quickly. And I was looking to go long this entire time, so I didn't catch any of this short. I was originally looking to go long from this range, and then here I was tailing Flow Zone today. He was still very bullish on the day, and what he was getting into was um, on the market flow on the tape. There was buyers that would keep just walking down instead of walking up, and we just kept dropping. And then, given we had held in this range before, tail flow here, we were going teal on this 1 minute. I thought we could get a pop to this sort of range right here, 660 level, which flow had, kind of also mentioned was key. We didn't get that. I didn't like it, so I cut it. He cut it a little bit before me. We did grind up, but then quickly reject down, and then this was just dumb. I took a short from this level. We are at the lows. I thought there was a chance we could push to the previous session lows, this key level of 441, 440 range, because we were expanding into red, and then we started to flatten out here. And I knew that was a very risky opportunity. Flo was looking for that chase down, and I was a little bit tilted because I was trying to take it in here. He wasn't too sure, and we're teal. Like, we could pop into green. We defended this level here, and then we'll get into why I cut my long. We could not really get back above this New York Morning Open range. We reject. I try to chase, get caught in it, and I should have cut it right around in here. My stop was right above like here anyway, so I cut it in this range. Where am I at? 505 to like 550, so like 45 points. I typically run 40 point stops, or the largest 1 minute candle, and given the largest 1 minute was larger than that, but given where we were on the chart, I took, wasn't sure if I took 2 or 3 contracts here. I might have taken 3, I believe. So down about 40 points. It was like 240, 250 here, and I cut this down 50. Actually, it was 350. So I was running 3 because I was down about 40, $50 here, and then because I was down over a little over 400 on the day at this point, and then I saw this setting up like we're grinding, but it was a little bit of revenge trading in the terms of should I hop right back into a trade? I saw this setting up. It was beautiful and it played out beautifully. Like, I literally bought the retest right here. This was what the previous day high. We defended that the prior session in the morning. Defended that okay here. Rejected a little bit higher, but that's why I cut it here because I'm like, I took a little bit larger L on the day than I wanted for a typical day. Typically around 3 to 400 on the day. And this was just, again, this was dumb. So I was a little bit overly cautious here, a little bit too, aggressive. Just given I've been a little bit overly cautious in the last week. So I should have flipped that. So took about like 23, 25 points here on this scalp. Okay, and I was going to shoot for this level. We didn't get up there, so I got in the retest right up here. Okay, and then I was trying to get back in where Flow got in right in here. I had a buy at this level on the fib. Missed it by, I made a couple points. But again, on the one, we're trending to the downside. We could dip down a little bit more. And again, wasn't sure if we were going to hold this range or not. We do. I'm not going to chase this, especially when we're very volatile in this box. We could break down. Thought about a buy here, but I was honestly looking for this retest at the New York Open again. We didn't get that, so I missed this, and then I was looking for the short. We got above the previous candle closure and then rejected rather hard. We're below the Bravo. We should be expanding into red. The 5 was a little bit early, I do know on that. We were starting to flatten out here on this bar, and then we expand up. So I was a little bit early, but my thesis was still in play. And given I've been a little bit way too cautious, not letting theses play out, and I should have cut that first short, just giving it a little bit of ego, and I'm like, oh well, come back down. No, that was not coming back. So I did hold this. Stop was above this fib level up here. This 1.61 extension was about 45 points. I did have another sell order at this New York high if we got back to that range. So I shorted 2. I was going to look to short a third here. And then I was looking for this, extension back to the 100% of the move at the time that I drew it and we did stall out. And I was looking for this box in that range. We didn't get that there, and I held this for about 30 minutes. And I ended up, actually like 25, I ended up getting out like a point or two to the plus side. Just didn't love it. I was up a little bit more, was looking for this push. We didn't get that, and it is a holiday weekend. There was a chance we could continue to break down further, grind up off this range. You don't know. So I cut that, and then again, I've been overly cautious all week. The system is saying to fire. We went back to purple, and they're a little bit smaller to see, but we went back to purple on this TTM. I did short right here. It was a little bit early on it, but we didn't get too far above where I was. And the reason why I got in is if you look at this level here, the 50, the SMA on the 1 minute here, we're not getting any candle closures above. We've got lower highs. We've got lower lows. Okay, we did break up that here, but for the most part, that trend continued. So I felt comfortable getting in. You look at the 5 minute, I got in here right when we start to level out. It's like 12:05, 12:07. Okay, we go to the 5 minute. Okay, we're purple expanding into the downside. Okay, I wanted this box here. Should have held a little bit longer, but we were volatile. I ended up cutting right here. Took another about 23, 25 points. Could have had a little bit more, not much, given, the RR. And going back to this trade on the day, this RR, this was just dumb. Seeing momentum, thought we could push into red, and we leveled out quick, and they bought. And this is when Flo had said buyers came back on the tape and came back in strong. He was looking for that in this range and in this range. Never got it, so what are you going to do? That's on me. I was way too aggressive in terms of from where I was shorting. And I wanted it here, just wasn't confident in it a little bit early. Once we started to push, that's when he had gotten in, thinking we could push lower. And he had even mentioned this level as well that I had in, so that's on me. Beautiful entry here. Like in hindsight, I could have had 100, 150 points. Had I not taken this, I would have held this. But again, given I was down on the day, wanted to recoup, a little bit. But hey, system says fire here. I fire just, again, part of it too was I had just lost, a little bit tilted. Should probably sit out. You don't know. Make the best decisions. But it said fire. So I had 2 positive trades on the day for about 22, 23, 25 points each. Lost, I think it was actually a little bit over that 45. It was like 55 points here on 3 contracts. I was running 2 here. So I am down about 180 on the day, down about 600 on the week. Considering how it's been the last week, essentially just gave back what I made last week. Made a little over 500 last week, gave it back this week, but really cut the losses. Again, typically would have been a $1,500, $2,000 loss, especially today, given more. So I am managing risk a lot more, improving on that. I just need to learn to fire more when the system says, and that's what I was working on here. A little bit too soon here. Was really looking for here. Thought we would get that breakdown and push here. So, again, very happy that I held through this because the thesis never broke. And same thing here. There's been times where I've cut way too early, like here, and in times past that have burned me before, that have caught me leaving a lot of money on the table. And again, you see why I wanted in this range. Like, we could break down more. Holiday weekend, you don't know. We've been pushing up. I was happy with what I got. Again, holiday weekend. Didn't trade incredibly well in the morning, but traded a lot better this afternoon. Very happy with just, kind of how I held everything and just trying to rewire the nervous system. That's one of my biggest issues is I tend to panic a little bit when I'm red. Wanted to sit through that. Hey, thesis was never broken. Your trades, you stay in as long as the thesis is not broken. So I did that in the afternoon, got a little bit back, little over 200 back from that. So down 180 on the day, 600 on the week. Did I trade well? No. Did I make the best decisions all the time? No. As you can see here, this was just flat out just dumb. But traded very well this afternoon, and to be able to mitigate risk, what would typically be, again, $1,500, $2,000 loss on the week, was only $600. Gave profits back that I had last week. We're still up $1,500 on the one funded, $340 on the other, and then break even on the third. So we're still green, still positive net on everything. Just got to keep moving forward, keep working, and keep firing when the system says to, and that's been the biggest issue. We'll continue to learn, grow, each and every day. And it's a marathon, not a sprint, so we will get there. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you found any value, please like and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed, stay positive. Make it happen.